Hey there, I'm Stuart Chapin, and I'm demonstrating how to transition from a counterbalance rappel into an anchor midpoint, and then setting up a second rappel that will be a tandem rappel. So at this point, I've come down on a counterbalance rappel to my injured climber. I've set her up with a chest harness to hold her shoulders up. I've got a catastrophe knot here, and I've got a piece of cordelette that's on a prusik hitch here that's going to help pull her down as I go down. So I'm going to undo my catastrophe knot and begin to pull her down with me. As I go, because of that green hitch, she's now getting pulled along. Now we come to our anchor, and I'm going to, risk falling right over. I'm going to tie a catastrophe knot again. I've stopped relatively high to the anchor. We're going to end up lower, but it's really hard to climb back up with a hanging climber. So at this point, I can release this hitch because this hitch is no longer playing a critical safety component or is pulling my climber down. I've inspected the entire line on the way down here, and everything's in good condition, and I can see that my climber is properly tied in and is not going to come off the end of this rope. So I'm going to take this hitch off of us and rig it up so that my injured climber can use it as an extension for her rappel and as a releasable tie-in for the anchor. I'm going to undo this prusik hitch. At this point, I'm going to feed this midpoint of my long cordelette through my climber's hard points, and I'm going to tie a girth hitch onto her harness. About a foot and a half up from the girth hitch, I'm going to tie an overhand on a bite, and that's going to be her tie-in point for her next rappel. And I'll just have that there. And then I'm going to take that locking carabiner for now, and I'm going to put it into the master point of our belay, and I'm going to tie a munter hitch and a mule hitch. I've tied that relatively short so that she'll stay relatively close to the anchor. She's now tied into the anchor. That's locked. I'm going to need a locking carabiner or a pair of carabiners to serve as our rappel carabiners out of this anchor. And I'm going to need to clip myself in to the anchor, and I can do that on the shelf. Alright, now I'm going to carefully lower us down onto the anchor. And I'm lowering first because we're no longer connected, but now that I'm hanging on the anchor, she's going to lower down next. She's now hanging on the anchor on the munter mule hitch that's here on the long cordelette. Alright, check everything, make sure we're all good, and I can take us off belay. this point, I need to pull the rope down, so I'm going to go ahead and untie my strand. Make sure that the knot is out of it. And I'm going to start to feed this through my rappel carabiners. That here. Check to make sure that my ropes are down. If I have a center point here, I can line it up on the center point. This rope does not have a center point. Now I can go ahead and put my belay device in on the rappel line here. Pull that up as high as I can. It does become hard to reach here in a sec. Put my back up on. Check my hitch. That looks good. Now I need to get my client clipped onto my rappel carabiner. Let's see here. Do I have an extra cut? I have to use this one. There and into there. Lock that. Okay, we are all good. I'm going to pull myself up off the anchor. Time to test for now before I did that. Alright, put that in there as a backup. Alright, my client is ready to get lowered onto my rappel line. If we had more rappels to do, we'll use this to tie her into each of the rappels as we go. And I can remove all the equipment that I can, take it with us, remove the catastrophe knot, and we are now on a tandem rappel moving together. To the ground. And I'd like to thank my Venetian client, Heidi, for hanging out with me here today. Have a great day.
It only took 19 minutes. See if you can beat it.